The Odyssey, a symbol of humanity's insatiable thirst for knowledge, glided silently through the cold vacuum of space. I am Dr. Adrian Vega, the chief science officer aboard this vessel, a title that carries with it an immense weight of responsibility and curiosity. It was in the year 2247 when our mission to explore the uncharted realms of deep space took a turn into the realms of the extraordinary. We had ventured beyond the known star maps, far from the warm glow of our sun, where the darkness of space reigned supreme. Our sensors, always scanning the abyss for signs of the unknown, picked up an anomaly that piqued our collective interest. It was an artifact, ancient beyond our understanding, floating aimlessly in the void. The scans indicated its age to be in the billions of years, predating any civilization known to us. Its design was unlike anything we had encountered, smooth, dark, and with geometric patterns that seemed to shift subtly when not looked at directly. Captain Elaine Harris, a veteran of space exploration, shared my intrigue. Her decision to retrieve the artifact was unanimous among the crew. We all felt the gravity of this discovery, the chance to study something truly ancient, possibly the remnant of a long-extinct alien civilization. Our retrieval team, suited in their EVA gear, executed the operation with precision. The artifact, no larger than a human torso, was carefully brought aboard the Odyssey. Its presence seemed to cast an unspoken spell over us, a mixture of awe and an unshakable sense of foreboding. We gathered in the main lab, eyes fixed on the artifact. Its surface was inscribed with symbols that defied our understanding, shimmering with a light that did not seem to emanate from it, but rather through it, as if it were a window to some other place. I remember the sensation vividly, a feeling as if my very existence was being stretched in, drawn out like the last note of a haunting melody. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, it ceased. We looked at each other, bewildered, checking our instruments to make sense of what had just happened. It didn't take long for us to realize that something was fundamentally wrong. Time, the one constant in the vastness of space, had become our enemy. Our first clue was a message from Earth, received but dated 2 days in the future. Then came the realization that our personal memories were fading, slipping away like sand through fingers. Time was moving backward, and the ancient artifact was at the heart of this anomaly. As the chief science officer, it was my duty to understand this phenomenon, to unravel its secrets. But as I stood there, watching the digital clocks on the wall ticking in reverse, I couldn't shake the feeling of dread that gripped my heart. What had we unleashed upon ourselves? And more importantly, could we survive the unraveling of our very existence? The days following the activation of the artifact were marked by a growing sense of unease aboard the Odyssey. The phenomenon of time moving backward was not just a mere scientific curiosity, it was a palpable, living reality that we were experiencing with increasing alarm. Captain Harris called for an emergency meeting, her usually pompous demeanor giving way to an underlying current of urgency. The crew, a mix of scientists, engineers, and support staff, gathered in the main briefing room, each face reflecting the confusion and fear that had taken hold of us. As you all are aware, we are facing an unprecedented situation, Captain Harris began, her voice steady despite the circumstances. Time is flowing in reverse. We need to understand this artifact and find a way to reverse its effects before it's too late. I stepped forward, presenting my initial findings. The artifact seems to be a device capable of manipulating time. However, its method of operation and the source of its power remain unknown. We've observed that our communications with Earth are arriving before they are sent, and personal memories are deteriorating as our personal histories regress. The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation sank in. It was then that the first truly alarming incident occurred. Lieutenant Carter, our communications officer, vanished right before our eyes. One moment he was there, the next, he was simply gone, as if he had never existed. Panic ensued. The crew's murmurs turned into a cacophony of fear and confusion. Captain Harris called for order, but her voice was drowned out by the sound of alarms blaring throughout the ship. I quickly realized the implications. Our existences were being unwritten. As time moved backward, events that led to our births were being undone. The thought was chilling, and it sent a shiver down my spine. In a desperate attempt to make sense of the chaos, I proposed a theory. The artifact, when activated, must have created a temporal field around the ship. We are caught in a reverse time loop. If we can somehow interact with the artifact again, we might be able to stabilize the flow of time, at least temporarily. Captain Harris, understanding the risks, agreed to the plan. She knew, as did I, that it was a shot in the dark, but it was the only option we had. We needed to act, and fast, before more of us were erased from existence. As we prepared to re-engage with the artifact, the weight of our situation weighed heavily on me. We were not just battling for our lives, but for the very essence of our existence. The unknown nature of the artifact, its mysterious origin, and the sheer power it wielded over the fabric of time were daunting. Yet, there was no turning back. We had to face this anomaly head-on, for the sake of our past, present, and future. The days that followed were a blur of frantic activity and growing dread. Our reality was fraying at the edges. My team and I worked tirelessly to devise a way to interact with the artifact safely. We knew the risks involved. Meddling with such a powerful and unknown technology was akin to walking a tightrope over an abyss. But the alternative, allowing ourselves to be slowly erased from time, was unthinkable. As we delved deeper into our research, strange, subtle changes began to manifest around us. Personal belongings would appear and disappear, as if being unmade and remade by the winds of time. Recorded messages from Earth arrived in a jumbled, non-linear sequence, creating a disjointed and eerie narrative of events that were yet to happen. The most disturbing change, however, was the gradual erosion of our memories. Our pasts, the very foundations of our identities, were fading away. Childhood memories, the faces of loved ones, significant life events, all were slipping into the void of non-existence. It was as if we were ghosts, haunting a ship that, amidst this chaos, I observed a chilling pattern. Crew members were disappearing, one by one, each vanishing, leaving no trace they had ever been aboard. It was a horrifying realization that with each backward tick of the clock, the probability of our births in the altered timeline was diminishing. Captain Harris, a pillar of strength in these dark times, called for a meeting. She addressed the crew with a grim resolve. We are facing an existential threat. Our very beings are at stake. But we are not without hope. Dr. Vega and his team have devised a plan to stabilize the flow of time. It's risky, but it's our best shot. I presented our plan. We had constructed a device that could, theoretically, interact with the artifact's energy field. Our hope was that by doing so, we could temporarily halt or even reverse the backward flow of time. The crew listened, their faces a mix of hope and fear. The plan was set in motion. Captain Harris and I, along with a team of volunteers, would attempt to activate the device in proximity to the artifact. The rest of the crew was tasked with monitoring the ship's systems and preparing for any contingencies. As we approached the artifact, its pulsating light seemed to beckon us, a siren call luring us towards the unknown. The device, a complex array of circuits and energy emitters, hummed to life in my hands. I could feel the tension in the air, a tangible electric charge that made the hairs on my neck stand on end. We activated the device. A brilliant flash of light engulfed the room, and for a moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, reality buckled around us, warping in ways that defied comprehension. Visions flashed before my eyes, glimpses of ancient civilizations, epics collapsing into dust, the birth and death of stars. In that moment, suspended between time and eternity, I understood the monumental nature of our discovery. The artifact was not just a relic, it was a key to the mysteries of the universe, a bridge across the vast expanse of time. But with such knowledge came a terrifying responsibility. We had unleashed a force beyond our control, and now we were paying the price. As the light faded, we found ourselves back on the Odyssey, the artifact ominously silent before us. Time had stabilized, but at what cost? The ship was damaged, systems failing. The crew, those who remained, were changed, haunted by the experience. We had succeeded in halting the backward flow of time, but the future was uncertain. The artifact, though dormant, was still a mystery, its secrets locked away in its ancient core. And as we drifted in the void of space, I couldn't help but wonder what other horrors lay hidden in the dark corners of the universe, waiting to be awakened. The aftermath of our attempt to stabilize time aboard the Odyssey was a scene of chaos and revelation. The ship, our sanctuary and vessel of discovery, now bore the scars of our encounter with the unknown. Systems flickered and failed intermittently, and the air was thick with a palpable tension. Captain Harris and I convened in the damaged command center, assessing the situation. Our crew was reduced, each missing member a painful reminder of the cost of our curiosity. Those who remained were a mix of relief and deep, unspoken fear. The artifact lay dormant in the containment unit, its once mesmerizing light now dim and lifeless. Yet, its presence was like a shadow over us all, a constant reminder of the forces we had dared to tamper with. "We need to deactivate this artifact permanently," Captain Harris declared, her voice resolute amidst the uncertainty. "Whatever it takes, we cannot allow this to continue. The risks are too great." I nodded in agreement, though my mind raced with questions. How do you deactivate a device that manipulates time itself? What further dangers might we unleash in the process? The artifact was an enigma, a piece of a puzzle so vast and ancient that we were but children fumbling in the dark. We formulated a plan, desperate and daring. Using the data we had gathered, we aimed to create a controlled surge of energy that would, hopefully, render the artifact inert. The theory was sound, but the application was fraught with risk. We were dealing with forces that defied our understanding, playing a high-stakes game with time itself as the board. The crew worked with a feverish intensity, driven by a blend of fear and determination. We retrofitted the containment unit, turning it into a makeshift chamber for the procedure. The artifact, silent and inscrutable, seemed to watch us, an ancient observer to our mortal struggles. As the procedure began, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were standing on the precipice of something monumental. The energy levels rose, humming through the ship, a symphony of science and desperation. And then, with a suddenness that took us all by surprise, the artifact reacted. A surge of power, raw and uncontrollable, erupted from the artifact. The containment unit buckled and warped, the very fabric of the ship groaning under the strain. Alarms blared, a cacophony of warning that we were in uncharted territory. Time warped around us, a maelstrom of past, present, and future colliding in a vortex of light and shadow. Visions assaulted my senses, fragments of realities that were, that might have been, that could yet be. I saw civilizations rise and fall in the blink of an eye, galaxies spinning in the dance of creation and destruction. Amidst this chaos, I grasped for a semblance of control. The procedure was teetering on the edge of catastrophe. We needed to stabilize the energy surge, to contain the raw power we had unleashed. With a final, desperate effort, we redirected the energy back into the artifact. A blinding flash enveloped us, a crescendo of light and sound that seemed to shake the very foundations of existence. And then, silence. The light faded, and the Odyssey emerged from the tempest of time, battered but still intact. We had done it. We had deactivated the artifact. But the cost of our victory was etched on the faces of the crew and the damaged corridors of our ship. We had ventured into the unknown, touched the fabric of time, and emerged forever changed. The artifact, now quiet and inert, was a testament to our journey, a journey that had taken us to the very edge of reality and back. In the wake of the deactivation of the artifact, a heavy silence fell over the Odyssey. It was a silence filled with the weight of loss and the echoes of what we had endured. The ship, once a beacon of human achievement, now drifted aimlessly, a wounded bird in the vastness of space. We assessed the damage. The ship's systems were functional but strained, like the crew. We were survivors of an ordeal that defied understanding. The artifact, now lifeless and sealed within its containment unit, was a stark reminder of our brush with the unfathomable. Captain Harris, ever the stalwart leader, addressed the crew. Her voice, usually so full of authority and confidence, carried a tremor of vulnerability. We've been through something no one else can understand. We've seen the fabric of time unravel and rewoven. We must report our findings, warn others of the dangers of such artifacts. The crew set about making the necessary repairs to the ship. Our journey home was going to be long and fraught with the psychological aftermath of our experience. Each of us dealt with the trauma in our own way. Some were quiet, lost in their thoughts and memories. Others threw themselves into their work, seeking solace in routine and normalcy. I spent long hours poring over the data we had collected. The artifact, despite its dormancy, was a treasure trove of information. It held secrets of the universe that we had only begun to scratch the surface of. Yet, there was a part of me that feared what we might uncover, a lingering apprehension of delving too deep into mysteries best left unsolved. As time passed, we began to piece together the events that had unfolded. We theorized about the civilizations that might have created the artifact, their understanding of time and space far surpassing our own. We speculated about the purpose of such a device, whether it was a tool, a weapon, or something else entirely. But for all our theories and speculations, the truth remained elusive, hidden within the silent core of the artifact. It was a humbling reminder of the vastness of the universe and the limits of our understanding. The Odyssey, once a symbol of human ambition and curiosity, had become a vessel of cautionary tales. We had sought the unknown, reached out to touch the stars, and found ourselves confronted with the limits of our grasp. As we prepared for the journey back to Earth, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey we had taken. We had set out to explore the unknown, and in doing so, had discovered more about ourselves than we could have imagined. The universe was vast and mysterious, filled with wonders and horrors beyond our comprehension. And we, the crew of the Odyssey, had glimpsed a fraction of that vast tapestry of existence. The journey home was not just a physical one, it was a journey of understanding, of coming to terms with our place in the cosmos. We had ventured into the unknown, and though we had returned, a part of us would always remain out there, among the stars, forever changed by our encounter with the ancient artifact. The final leg of our journey aboard the Odyssey was marked by introspection and a solemn understanding of the vastness and mystery of the universe. Our ship, once filled with the excitement of discovery, now carried a crew sobered by their brush with the unknown. Captain Harris, in her final log entry, encapsulated our ordeal. We set out to explore the uncharted, to extend the reach of human understanding. What we found was a reminder of our own insignificance in the face of the cosmos, and the dangers that lie in meddling with forces beyond our comprehension. As we approached Earth, the reality of our return began to settle in. We had survived an encounter that defied the laws of nature as we knew them. The artifact, now a silent relic of our journey, was to be handed over to the authorities. Debates would rage about its origin, its purpose, and the ethics of studying such a powerful and potentially dangerous object. For me, the journey had been transformative. The artifact had not only altered time, but had changed me fundamentally. I had witnessed the ebb and flow of galaxies, the birth and death of stars, the rise and fall of civilizations unknown. These visions, though fleeting, had left an indelible mark on my soul. Our arrival on Earth was met with a mixture of awe and apprehension. The Odyssey was greeted as both a vessel of brave explorers and a harbinger of unknown dangers from the depths of space. Our reports were met with skepticism and wonder, our experiences dissected by scientists and philosophers alike. In the days that followed, I found myself grappling with the aftermath of our journey. The memories of what we had experienced, the crew members we had lost to the ravages of reverse time, haunted me. I had stared into the abyss, and in return, the abyss had gazed into me, leaving its enigmatic shadow etched upon my being. The artifact, now under the scrutiny of the world's leading scientists, remained an enigma. Its secrets, locked within its ancient structure, were a siren call to the curious and the brave. But for those of us who had encountered its power firsthand, it was a reminder of our fragility in the vast, uncaring expanse of the universe. As I write these final words, the Odyssey's journey has come to an end, but the story of the artifact is just beginning. It stands as a testament to human curiosity, a beacon of both warning and wonder. It reminds us that out there, in the dark reaches of space, lie mysteries that challenge our understanding and defy our arrogance. We had sought the unknown, and in doing so, had found a new reverence for the universe and our place within it. The artifact, silent and inscrutable, remains a mystery, its true nature and purpose perhaps forever beyond our grasp. But one thing is certain out there, in the depths of space, the universe holds secrets far greater and more profound than we can imagine. And as we continue to look to the stars, we do so with a newfound humility and an unquenchable thirst for the unknown.